guys! Like my hat? Today I'm going to be talking about 10 tips for new vegans. So when I became a vegan, I was a little bit intimidated by all the choices and I didn't know where to start, and I would watch YouTube channels and people would make these fancy smoothie bowls. So it was really intimidating for me. So I decided to make a list. I thought this would be a little fun. I have something on my hat here. I decided to make a list for new vegans to get started of things that you're going to encounter and tips, okay? So let's get started. So I hope you enjoy this. So number one is don't be intimidated by fancy foods. Veganism is easy. So like I said, when I started my journey, I didn't know what to make. I was like, what do vegans eat? You know, aren't they hungry all the time? Where do they get their protein? So I started going on YouTube channels and I would see like all these elaborate fancy bowls, with, the smoothie bowls and, they're beautiful, but I was like, oh, I don't have time to make this. I can't do this. So one of the first places that was a really good source for me was Pinterest. So I just started pinning real simple, real easy, quick meals that, had the protein and were balanced. And I created a board on Pinterest for vegan meals that were, relatively easy. And there's tons and tons and tons of them. So I highly recommend Pinterest. So number two is family and friends may not understand or agree with your lifestyle. They might not even get it, and that's okay. You're going to encounter that. And, you could learn a little bit about the environmental impact of eating meat and whatever stance you're coming from, whether it's ethical or environmental, just educate yourself a little bit so that if a conversation arises about it, you can have a conversation with your family and with your friends about why you chose to do it. And, So number three is make sure to incorporate protein in every meal or snack, or you may feel hungry in the beginning. So when you're transitioning from meat to veganism, you might feel a little bit hungry in the beginning because you're used to like really, really dense sources of protein like red meats or, So it's very easy to get all of your protein on a plant-based diet. But you have to, just check the labels and vegan protein sources are a little bit different. And there's also meat alternatives. I don't recommend those like to live your whole life on those because, they can be fatty and not very healthy and have some processed stuff in them too. But alternative meat sources are really dense sources of protein. Like the fake chicken and stuff like that. But yeah, it's real easy to get your protein. Just, there's hemp seeds, there's nuts and seeds and walnuts and almonds and pumpkin seeds and protein bars and protein shakes, and the list goes on and on and on. So just make sure that you're incorporating that protein in every meal and you'll feel, satisfied. Number four, it's okay to feel uneasy, cravings, or even anxiety in the beginning. Remember that this is a complete shift in the way that you're eating and the way that you're viewing food and feeling satiated and everything. So it's okay to have that anxiety, and you will have some cravings in the beginning. I read something somewhere that said that it takes 15 days to a month to change a habit. So yeah, it's going to take a little bit a while for you to change your habits and for that anxiety to go away. And you're not a horrible person if you still crave meat. It's really more about just habits that you've been conditioned, that you've learned your whole life that you have to change and shift. So if you're doing this for the animals or you're even doing it for environmental reasons, whatever your reasons, it's okay in the beginning to feel uneasy and be like, oh, I don't know, I'm craving this, I'm craving that. That's okay. Number five, there's a vegan version of almost every food, which is absolutely true. Excuse me, I'm going to turn this off for 1 second. Okay, so number 5, there's a vegan version of almost every food. This is absolutely true. So for everything that like you think, oh, I'm not going to be able to do this because I love cheese, I love cream cheese, I love yogurt, I love milk, I love steak, I love hamburger, I love da 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 da. But I don't want to see animals suffer. I don't want to participate in factory farming. Remember that there is now, I mean, it's never been a better time to be plant-based and cruelty-free in 2018. Okay, so there's a meat alternative for everything. And I should do a video in the future for some of my absolute favorites. For cream cheese, Kite Hill brand rocks. It's one of the best. I think it's the closest to like, old school like Philly cream cheese that's out there. And I hate to say this, but stay away from Daiya. Like, you might like Daiya. That was one of the things when I transitioned to finding plant-based cream cheeses and, cheese for my pizza and stuff like that. I didn't really personally like Daiya. So every new vegan will experiment with different brands, like there's Kite Hill, there's Daiya, there's, the list goes on and on and on. And some you'll be like, ugh, but don't let it completely turn you off and be like, oh, I can't do this anymore because I just can't eat this kind of cheese. Because there's really good stuff out there. Really, really good stuff. Read reviews. Like if you're craving a cream cheese, go online and Google search best vegan cream cheeses and you'll find something that you like. That's for everything. Meat alternatives, blah, blah, blah. And number 6 was find it. Find the vegan alternatives. Number 7, fake meats are okay. You're not a terrible person. Now, I wouldn't recommend fake meat every single day of your life because, like I said, the fake meats can be very processed and can even have, a lot of fats in them. But if you ate chicken or you ate meat for 20 years of your life, it's going to be really, really hard for you to just go cold turkey. You can, that's fine. Into like complete, whether your goal is to go raw vegan or to go over the top and, just whatever your goal is, just not hurting animals and but you still like the taste of meats. Fake meats are okay. It doesn't make you a bad person if you're eating something that's like fake chicken versus real chicken. If you like the flavor and everything, it's fine. You're not hurting animals. So number 8, trial and error recipes. Trial and error recipes, gather your favorites. No, I still do this. I've been a vegan for 3 years and I still, I'll try like from simple to elaborate recipes, things with eggplant, things with pumpkin, pumpkin pasta, everything. And some things like, and I'll even make it for my boyfriend and he's not quite a vegan yet. He still eats poultry and he's transitioning. He hasn't had red meat in about a year. So I'm really proud of him, but he was like a meat and potatoes guy raised on that his whole life. But, I'll make recipes for him and some he'll be really honest with me and he'll say, ugh, I don't really like that. And then others are just a home run. And those I save and I treasure. And I've built up a collection of my favorite recipes. Number 9, download vegan apps. Vegan apps are really good, like for when you're on the road. A couple that are really good are Happy Cow and Air Vegan. So you might want to look into those. And there's tons of other ones too. Number 10, this is a reality. You will probably be eating at home more often. Now, this is what I discovered. It is really hard to, well, depending on where you live, if you live in an area such as LA or New York or a huge metropolitan city, your vegan options for eating out are going to be a lot more diverse. But if you're living in a small Midwestern town like I do, you're going to just encounter kind of a lot of the commercial chain restaurants and fast food restaurants, and it's going to be a lot harder for you to find vegan options when you're out. So I find that I don't even go out to restaurants as much anymore, and I'm making a lot of my meals at home. Like even if I'm having a lazy night and I'm just tired and I don't feel like cooking, like I'll pick up, from Taco Bell, like two soft taco shells or 2 taco shells with the pico and the lettuce in them, and I'll bring them home and I'll actually like really quick, I'll just cook up some vegan like little chicken cutlets and put them in there. with, maybe some beans or some guacamole or something. But I do find that I'm eating at home a lot more. So those are my 10 tips for new vegans, and I'm really excited that you're going to be taking this journey with me. Veganism is it's healthy, it's kind, and there's so many meat alternatives and so many options today. I mean, it's never been a better time to eat a plant-based diet. So I hope you enjoyed this. And I forgot to mention in the beginning, if you're watching this for the first time, my name is Jenna. And if you could click on the subscribe below, I would really appreciate it. And I'd love to interact with you. I'm really good with that with my subscribers. So take care, guys. Bye.